There once was a man in our village named Okoro. He was a handsome fellow, tall, strong, and the most skilled yam farmer in the entire community. But Okoro had one problem. He couldn't seem to find a woman who would stay with him. Every girl he approached would eventually leave, saying he was too quiet or that his farm was too deep in the bush. Okoro didn't let it bother him, though. He was content with his life farming his yams, sipping his palm wine, and resting under his mango tree. One evening, under a full moon and a cool breeze, Okoro was walking back from his farm when he saw a beautiful woman on the path. Her skin glistened like river water in the moonlight, her wrapper was tied snugly, and her smile seemed to call to a man's very soul. Okoro's heart leapt. He had never seen such a woman in the village before. "Good evening, beautiful woman," Okoro greeted, his voice trembling slightly. "Good evening, Okoro," she replied, her voice as soft as cotton. Okoro was stunned. How did she know his name? But he didn't dwell on it. Love had already clouded his judgment. "What is your name?" he asked. "Call me Adaku," she said, flashing that smile that could make a man forget his own name. From that night on, Okoro and Adaku became inseparable. She would visit his home, cook him delicious ogbono soup filled with fish, and they would talk until the rooster crowed at dawn. However, there were strange things about Adaku. She despised the sun, only ever appearing at night. Whenever Okoro brought up the topic of marriage, she would just laugh softly and change the subject. And anytime she was near, Okoro's lantern would flicker erratically. The village gossips began to talk. "Okoro is courting a ghost," whispered Mama Ngozi, the village's rumor queen at the market. "That Adaku is not human. What woman wanders the bush at midnight?" But Okoro refused to listen. He was utterly captivated by Adaku's love. One day, he decided he had to marry her. He went to see Baba Ifa, the village diviner, to ask for his blessing. Baba Ifa cast his cowries, smoked his pipe, and his expression turned grave. "Okoro," he began, "this woman you are with is not of this world. She is the spirit of someone who died long ago. If you marry her, you will have to follow her to her world." Okoro laughed. "Baba, you've had too much palm wine. Adaku is perfect for me, and I will marry her." Baba Ifa shook his head solemnly. "I have warned you, Okoro. If you are determined, then go to the river at midnight. Take a white cloth and a kola nut and call her name 3 times. But be warned, what you seek may find you first." Okoro didn't hesitate. That very night, he took a white cloth and a kola nut to the river. He called out, "Adaku, Adaku, Adaku." Instantly, a strong wind blew, the water churned, and Adaku appeared before him, her eyes glowing like fireflies. "Are you certain you want to marry me?" she asked, her voice sweet yet chillingly cold. "Yes, Adaku. I love you more than life itself," Okoro declared. She smiled, took his hand, and everything went black. When Okoro opened his eyes, he found himself in a strange land. The trees were taller than the mightiest Iroko, the houses were built from mist, and the people walking around had no shadows. Adaku turned to him and said, "Welcome to my world, my husband." Okoro's heart sank. He had truly married a ghost wife. At first, it was pleasant. Adaku treated him like a king, cooking him spirit food that never filled his stomach but tasted like heaven. But slowly, Okoro began to weaken. His skin grew pale, his yam farm back in the village withered and died, and his voice started to sound like a faint echo. One day, he pleaded with Adaku, "I want to go back to my people." Adaku's face contorted with anger, her eyes turning a fiery red. "You are my husband, Okoro. You cannot leave unless you find another man to take your place." Okoro wept, but he didn't give up hope. He started praying to the gods, begging for a way out. One night, he had a dream in which Baba Ifa told him, "To free yourself, you must give her the kola nut you brought." But when you run, do not look back. Okoro did exactly as the dream instructed. He presented the kola nut to Adaku, telling her it was a gift. The moment she took it, he turned and ran. He didn't look back, not even when he heard her voice, sweet and alluring, calling his name. He ran until he collapsed at the edge of the village, right in front of Baba Ifa's shrine. The diviner performed a ritual, tied a red cloth around Okoro's neck, and said, "You have escaped. But never again fall in love with a woman you meet at midnight." From that day on, Okoro never went near the bush at night. He replanted his yam farm, built a new house, and eventually married a quiet girl from the next village. But sometimes, on nights when the moon is full, he sits under his mango tree and he swears he can still hear Adaku's voice on the wind, whispering his name. The villagers still tell the story of Okoro, the man who married a ghost wife, as a warning to young men. Not every beautiful woman who smiles at you in the dead of night is human. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. We'll see you in the next one.